This month, we'll take a look at how Chicago looked in July and update you on whether the sky is actually falling, so stay tuned. Welcome to another local market update with Rick Batista. Welcome to another monthly market update. Summer's dwindling down, school's already or soon to be back in session. Pretty soon we'll be raking up leaves or shoveling both snow and leaves if we don't stay on top of that lawn care. Get your cup of coffee and put another pot on because this month we're covering a whole lot. Mortgage rates, mortgage delinquencies, mortgage forbearance, foreclosures, home equity, housing inventory. Before we do get started, I want to let you know that this video discusses both national and local data. The local data we'll share in just a bit is for Chicago proper, the 77 areas. And although we do service all of Chicagoland, including the Burbs, later in this video we're only going to dive into the city's data. So let's get started with some fun facts and we'll share some other info and insights with you before covering the city's numbers. Fun facts, market time. Affordability constraints have continued to limit home buying activity this summer, with existing home sales falling 3.3% month over month nationwide as of last measure, according to the National Association of Realtors. Mortgage rates have approached 7% in recent months, leading many prospective buyers to put their home purchase plans temporarily on hold. But higher rates have also kept many existing homeowners from listing their homes for fear of giving up the low-rate mortgages they locked in a few years ago, when rates were significantly lower. New listings in the city of Chicago were down 27.6% for detached homes and 25.2% for attached properties. Listings under contract increased 3.8% for detached homes, but increased 2.4% for attached properties. The median sales price was down by 8.6% to $315K for detached homes, but was up 2.8% to $365K for attached properties. Month supply of inventory decreased 9.2% for detached units and 9.1% for attached units. Despite a drop in existing home sales, home prices have remained near record highs, with a national median sales price of $410,200 as of last measure, 0.9% below the all-time high of $413,800 recorded in June of 2022, according to the National Association of Realtors. With only 3.1 months supply heading into July, the lack of inventory has boosted competition among buyers and put upward pressure on sales prices, especially in more affordable markets where competition for homes remains particularly strong. And we'll be touching on these facts and more throughout the rest of this video, but let me start off by reminding you of this. Misinformation turns into fear, and fear turns into paralysis or inaction. What does that remind you of? Well, have you ever seen a deer in headlights? It's usually not a very pretty aftermath. How does this pertain to housing? I'm here to provide you with information, as much accurate information as possible to help you and your household make the best decisions possible. Is now the best time to sell? Is now the best time to buy? Should I rent my current home out and buy, or sell and buy, or sell and rent, or rent and rent? So many questions, so many options. Need help finding the answers? Give me a call. I'll hook you up with some chill pills and you can tell me what's on your mind. And again, I'll share some info and data to help you make the most informed decisions possible for you and your household. We're living in interesting times. This is a unique market. Let's work together to help find the peace of mind that you need. Now let's jump in. For those who listen to mainstream media, besides needing some Alka-Seltzer and a Pepto-Bismol chaser, you're probably left with a lot of confusion and a lot of questions. Do you know what the punchline to the doom and gloom joke being played on us? The real estate market is probably the most foundationally sound it's ever been, especially in recent times. Do we have all the inventory you want? Are the rates where we'd like them to be? No way. However, the market is still active. Properties are selling, we have buyers, and we need more inventory. The rates, they are what they are, and certainly more in line with a more normal market versus the 2s and 3s we were looking to see within the last couple of years. Will we see those rates again? Who knows? If we do, it may be years and years, if not decades down the line, if ever. But one of the things I hear people talking about are mortgage delinquencies and foreclosures. Listen, there's no doubt every household has been impacted by the rising costs of everything. With that in mind, overall mortgages are getting paid. Let's take a look at this graph from the St. Louis Fed. The mortgage to income ratio is near an all-time low. Taking a look at mortgage debt service payments as a percentage of disposable personal income, going back to January 1980, that ratio was at 4.4%. The last two times it's been far higher was April 92 at 6.9%, and the highest peak in October 2007 at 7.2%. Since then, it's gone back down, with the lowest point being January 21, and we saw 3.5%. And the most recent data showing a smidge higher at 3.9%. This next slide here is a bar graph showing data from MBA, which is the Mortgage Bankers Association, and they're tracking the share of mortgage loans and forbearance. Going back to May 2020, we were at 8.47%. What happened just before then? You might recall we went from toilet paper memes to quarantines in March of that year. Stayed inside for a couple of weeks. Well, that turned into... Let's skip the rest of that story. I think everyone watching or listening can fill in their own blanks. But what happened at that time? Banks actually helped out. They gave homeowners the opportunity to stay in their homes with forbearance programs. So that percentage shot up. As the pandemic progressed and things started to open back up, percentage started coming down. The most recent data from June shows we decreased down to 0.44%. To provide further insight, here's a quote from Marina Walsh, Vice President of Industry Analysis at MBA. Mortgage forbearance has declined because most homeowners have maintained or improved their financial financial health. Forbearance remains a viable loss mitigation option for homeowners who may struggle under more challenging economic conditions. Now, this pie chart may be a bit confusing, but I think it's important to share this information with you, and I'll do my best to explain it. This is also data collected from MBA, showing loans upon exiting forbearance program. And this little note here at the bottom, cumulative forbearance exits for the period from June 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. So pretty recent. If we're looking here at the green slices, 35.3% were paid in full. And that's broken down to 17.9% made their monthly payments during their forbearance period. 6.6% paid the loan off completely. So either they had the funds to do it or refinanced or sold maybe. 10.8% had past due payments, but were able to bring those current. The next section we'll look at are these two slices here, making up 45.6%, and these are known as workouts or repayment plans. 29.5% of them being loan deferrals and 16.1% being loan modifications. 17.9% to this orange slice here, these are folks that are still in trouble, no loss mitigation plan at all. And all this is a statistic and a very small piece of the pie. This red sliver here does mean that there were some homes and probably too many homes, in my personal opinion, where they weren't able to work things out and they ended up losing their home. Maybe it was for the best. I certainly can't make that decision because I don't know all the situations, but it's unfortunate that 1.2% of them ended up losing their home, and these were due to short sales or deeds in lieu of foreclosure. Taking a look at this next slide, foreclosure filings in the first 6 months of the year, going back to 2008. This year we were sitting at 186,000. You got me. It's definitely more than 2022, way more than 2021, definitely more than 2020. Sorry, but those were the years where there were moratoriums and where we're coming out of the height of the pandemic. So kind of hard to compare 2023's numbers to 20, 21, and 22. Comparing this year's numbers to 17, 18, and 19, sure, those were much more normal markets. Guess what? We were considerably or far less than those years. Will foreclosures continue to go up? It's likely. And as unfortunate and difficult a situation as that is for households, it is a normal part of the housing market. Things happen. Life happens. If you find yourself in a tough situation or know or suspect someone who is, there's a very good chance, with the experience we have, we can help you. Foreclosures, short sales, divorce, death, estate sales, tax liens, all those things suck. And they suck even more when you're doing it by yourself. Let's talk. We can hopefully help you before matters get worse. Bottom line, thanks to many reasons and factors, data shows us that the majority of households with a mortgage are in good shape. Is everyone happy? That's a different story. When it comes to being in a home you can afford or the threat of losing your home because you can't afford it, data can give us some reassurance that it would appear we can believe the housing market is not going to be flooded with foreclosures. If it was, with all the buyers out there waiting in the wings, they'd probably get gobbled up. But that's certainly not the ideal path we'd like to take toward more inventory. Let's wrap this segment up with a quote from Rob Barber. He's the CEO at Adam. The slight decline in foreclosure filings we are seeing is yet another sign of a rebounding housing market. Home prices back up. Several factors have combined to put more financial resources in the hands of homeowners, adding more options to avoid foreclosure. Now, not quite the state of foreclosure filings, but something that may eventually lead to one. Mortgage delinquencies. This chart, with data from Freddie Mac shown by the green line and Fannie Mae in blue, shows the percentage of mortgage loans that have 3 monthly payments or more past due or in the process of foreclosure. Going back to January 2022, we can clearly see that serious delinquencies are declining. This month, Black Knight Mortgage Monitor came out with this quote that explains things just a little bit more. Serious delinquencies, those 90+ days past due, dropped to the lowest they've been since August 2006. Overall, the national delinquency rate remains 1.15% below its 2000 to 2005 pre-Great Financial Crisis seasonal average. Riddle me this. Besides interest rates, what is helping and hurting the housing market? Equity. Those people who bought at the right time and or that nugget, plus they have a super low mortgage rate, the amount of home equity out there is astonishing and is helping the foundational strength of the housing market. And the low interest rates are making homeowners think, why would I want to sell now to only walk into a rate that's in the 6s or 7s, causing them to stay put, i.e. not list their homes, causing low inventory. Now, if we could only have more affordable housing being built. How are you doing it down there in the South? We need the Colonel to share that secret recipe again. Let's take a look at this next slide that shows you what I'm talking about. This pie chart is from Adam, and it shows Americans sitting on tremendous equity. 68.7%, and that's the lighter green and the dark green slices there of the pie chart, have paid off their mortgage or have at least 50% equity. 29.2% are mortgage homes with 1 to 49% equity. And that little red slice there, 2.1% homes with negative equity. Interestingly enough, Adam also came out with this information. According to the Q2 2023 Home Affordability Report, 98% of median-priced U.S. single-family homes and condos were less affordable than their historical averages in the second quarter of 2023, up from 94% in the first quarter. The decline in affordability attributed in part to rising sales prices, which have continued to outpace wage growth. Nationally, median single-family home values rose 10% from the first quarter to the second quarter, residents needing 33% of their income to cover major homeownership expenses, the highest level since 2007. Bottom line, if you're a homeowner, chances are you're sitting pretty on equity. With that said, this doesn't automatically mean that those same homeowners are living a lavish lifestyle. Maybe doing super well, maybe living check to check and struggling to pay for everything on your plate. You may be somewhere in between. If you're in the Chicagoland area and would like to know how much equity you have and or need help making some tough decisions, give me a call and let's crunch some numbers for you. This next slide here is comparing December 2022 home price predictions to the same resource's current forecast. One of them changed their minds based on how the year has progressed, some more drastically than others. MBA original forecast said home prices were going to be down by 0.6%. Their current forecast is at 0, change at all, so flat growth. Fannie Mae down by 1.5%. Now they're saying 3.9. Morgan Stanley back in December said down by 4%, and they're also predicting flat growth. AI, 15 to 20%, and now, hey, we're going to be up 6%. Zillow down by 0.7%, and hey, we're going to be up by 5.5%. CoreLogic up by 3%. Now they're actually even being more optimistic and saying that home prices are going to be up by 6.8%. Keep in mind, all these sources look at different data. They make their predictions, or I should say, not predictions, projections, based on the data that they're looking at. And as we say week after week, we need more inventory. According to Calculated Risk, as of July 28th, we're up week over week by 1.9%. Looking at the same week last year, we're down by 8.8%. Looking back at the same week in 2019, we're down 50.1%. If that ain't cringeworthy, I don't know what is. We need more inventory. Lawrence Yun, the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, dressed up as Captain Obvious recently when he said, "There's simply not enough homes for sale. The market can easily absorb a doubling of inventory." Well, Lawrence, I second that emotion. Moving along, I'd like to share a quote from the mortgage reports. In a seller's market, sellers often think that they don't need an agent because anyone can sell a house during a favorable period. However, it is important to remember that agents don't sell houses. Rather, they facilitate, consult, and protect their clients through the process. I want to share something that's near and dear to my heart. If you don't know what drives me when it comes to real estate, be sure to check out my Q&A playlist on our YouTube channel. Just give me a call so we can have a conversation. More than happy to talk with you. Remember, except for a few chapters, I'm an open book. Having a sense of home, whether you're an owner or a renter, is essential to each and every one of us. It starts with that peace within, because each one of us is a universe and we should be taking care of ourselves with love and kindness. The peace within then overflows to the peace within your home. It spills over into your community, then into society, and all throughout the world. It all starts at home. If you don't have peace within yourself, you're asking for trouble. If you don't have peace within yourself and at home, good luck enjoying moments, relationships, friendships, nature, pretty much anything. It becomes very stressful, very unenjoyable, downright miserable. With all that said, people get into real estate for different reasons. Money, a flashy lifestyle, gobbling up whoever and whatever crosses their paths. I'm not saying that's the majority of people in my industry, because I can't speak on behalf of someone else's intentions. I make this statement based on people's actions that I see and or the interactions I've had. I, like many of my colleagues, get into this industry because we are here to serve, here to help. We love that part of the commitment we've made. Sure, marketing is fun. Negotiating, OMG, love, love, love playing that game of chess. Making money is a nice perk too. Meeting new people to form long-term or lifelong relationships to help and serve, for me, well, that's the absolute best part of what I do day to day. We understand the market, to help you find a new home to get out of a rough situation, to help you finally have that extra space you need for your family, to help you find peace of mind in whatever capacity I can. That's what being a realtor means to me. Having said that, I'm a business owner of a family-owned and operated real estate company, a small local business. Some people might call us a boutique brokerage. So for those of you who are considering selling or even renting your home or property on your own, consider reaching out to me so I can explain the benefits of having a realtor represent you. Someone who's looking out for your best interest. If it's not me, make sure you're talking with someone you trust to know not only the local market, but the national one as well. And most importantly, someone who's going to listen to you and genuinely care about your needs. You can certainly save money doing it alone, or you can possibly lose money doing it on your own. As I said before, you can't put a price tag on peace of mind. Life is too busy and stressful already. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be too stubborn to welcome or accept that help. Enjoy life and let someone help carry that load. If you believe it takes a village, then hello, my name is Village. Okay, last slide here before we cover the city's data, and I believe I shared this last market update as well. I don't know if all these data points were on here, but big question: where are mortgage rates headed? If I could predict that, I'd buy a Powerball ticket. Don't quote me as saying these are predictions, projections from various sources. This is current as of August 2023. But we're going to look at Fannie Mae's predictions, MBA, and NRA, National Association of Realtors. We'll be actually looking at that last column here. You can the screen, take a screenshot, but we'll take a look at the averages right now. By the end of Q4 this year, predicting that rates are going to be down to 6.27%, finishing up Q1 of 2024, just over 6%, finishing up Q2, just under 6% in the high fives, finishing up Q3 next year, we're looking at being around 5.75%. Again, these are projections based on a whole lot of information and data that we've covered in some of our previous videos, so feel free to go back and check those out. Time will only tell, so we'll have to see. Now it's time to wake up! For the moment you've all been waiting for. This information and data is provided by the Chicago Association of Realtors, covering the month of July and is current as of August 14th. I forgot to mention it earlier. The Chicago Association of Realtors always comes out with a lender-mediated report, and this is taking a look at lender-mediated properties. Those that are marked as foreclosed, REO, pre-foreclosure, short sale, essentially bank-owned or soon-to-be bank-owned properties. And last month in July, we were sitting at 2.4%. I don't have all the other stats from the previous months, but certainly one of the lower percentages that we've seen. Basically, same thing I was covering earlier in the video, not a major concern as of right now, and most likely, very likely I should say, not a major concern in the future. We're going to be taking a look at residential activity only in the city of Chicago, again, 77 areas. For all properties, new listings down by 26.2%, closed sales down by 18.7%, and inventory of homes down by 32.6%. Again, that's for all properties, all residential properties in the city of Chicago. For this next set of data, we'll be covering detached single-family homes only. We do have reports for attached, so if you want to out to us and you own a condo or you're looking to buy a condo, feel free to reach out for that information. We'll give you the full report. And at detached single-family homes, we're going to be comparing July to July, so July of this year to July of 2022, and then year-to-date through July of this year compared to through July 2022. The listings, we wrapped up the month with 1,464, down by 27.6%, comparing both Julys. Year-to-date, 9,942, down by 18.1% year over year. Under contract, we had 772 detached single-family homes, up by 3.8% comparing both Julys. Not too shabby there. Around that time, that's when rates shot up. I think it was around the third or fourth week of May of last year, and that kind of impacted July's numbers. But looking at year-to-date, 5,623, down by 15.2% year over year. Closed sales, 726 detached single-family homes, down by 16.6% comparing both Julys. 5,031 year-to-date, down by 23.5% year over year. An average list price, I think, is a very interesting number to look at because I believe I should say that gives us a sense of how much confidence both homeowners and or brokers, mainly homeowners because they're making the ultimate decision, how much confidence that they have going into the market or hitting the market. The average list price last month in the city of Chicago for detached single-family homes, $520,652 by 10.8%, comparing both Julys. And year-to-date, $517,085, up by 2% year over year. Median sales price, $315K, down by 8.6%, comparing both Julys. $300K year-to-date, down by 7.7% year over year. And average sales price, that's what ultimately matters. How much does a property sell for? Sales price for a detached single-family home in Chicago last month, $459,796, by nearly 8%, comparing both Julys. Year-to-date, $443,944, down by 9.3% year over year. Percent of original list price received, 98.3%, down by 0.3% in both Julys. 97% for the year-to-date, down by 1.7% year over year. Market time, also a great indicator of how strong the market is. 58 days on the market last month, up by 43.1%, comparing both Julys, and 73 year-to-date, 41% year over year. Inventory of homes for sale, we wrapped up the month of July with 2,203 detached single-family homes, which was down by 28.6% compared to July of 2022. So, what does all this information mean for you? Heck if I know. It all depends on what's going on in your life and your household. Let's start a conversation and see how we can help you make the most informed decisions. Copies of any of the reports or slides that we shared with you today, feel free to reach out. You can call, text, or email. My contact info is below. Remember, love and money may come and go, but time is something we never get back. So I thank and appreciate you for spending some of your time with me today. If you want to stay on top of the market with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And think of one person that you believe can benefit from this information, and be sure to share it with them. As always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll catch you next time.